Welcome to Let's Play Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain Part 24, I believe. Because I always lose count every time I do this video series because due to the simple factor, this is like a long Let's Play. That's mainly why I've been losing track.
Boss, we need evidence to prove our suspicions about Emmerich. Head to the central base camp in Afghanistan and recover that AI pod. It's time we purge Diamond Dogs of that traitorous parasite once and for all.
Side ups. Sorry if you hear me drinking my coffee. I'm just trying to have the mic as close to my mouth so that you guys can hear me better. I just don't want to drown out the video game itself, though. That's why I try to mute myself during cutscenes. And if you're wondering, yes, I'm still not feeling that good today. I'm starting to think that it's either that my sinuses and allergies, or I actually am getting a little bit of a chest cold.
When you want to begin a mission, open your iDroid and select it from the mission list. I sent a list of selectable missions to your iDroid. They're all jobs that only you can handle. Be careful down there, boss! I don't care how you do it, but you've got to get us more manpower. If we're gonna get back at those bastards, our organization has to grow. To develop new weapons and items from your iDroid. There's no substitute for having the right equipment. Anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost. Speak. Where are your friends? You gotta extract him. Spit it out. Where are your friends? Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Spit it out. Where are the others? Talk. Where are your friends? He's coming too. Roger that. Subject on board. Talk. Where are the others? Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. The Soviet soldier. A lot of them came from Central Asia before, but lately they've been using more and more Russians. Simple, really. There's less hesitation to pull the trigger if they're not fighting their own race. Morbid cynicism, but it gets results. That's humanity for you. He's coming too. Roger that. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. You gonna extract him?
Where are the others? Hands up.
Я не хочу
Where are your
умирать!
friends? Speak.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Кто-нибудь, помогите!
He's coming too. Roger that.
Cease fire.
Не делай этого!
Spit it out. Where are the others?
Снимите меня отсюда! Я не
You gonna extract him?
умирать!
Where are your friends?
Нет, не делай этого!
Spit it out. Where are your friends? Cover me.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Cease cover fire. Spit it out. Spit it out. Where are the others?
Almost killed myself there.
communications between enemy outposts by destroying comms equipment. That'll prevent one post from sending reinforcements to another. Roger. When you want to begin a mission, open your iDroid and select it from the mission list. I sent a list of selectable missions to your iDroid. They're all jobs that only you can handle. This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
You guys are trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm trying to, like, a couple of days past in the game to get a cutscene. Okay, I think enough days passed by. So I got flies around me. Oh, yes, I just wanted to shoot at my own helicopter a little bit. Being a jackass.
Good. You captured it alive.
It's raining.
Okay, I wasn't expecting to get this cutscene.
Boss, welcome back.
it's like at that moment you know that big boss is falling in love with Quiet.
Roger.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
It's like I can just picture the mother base staff sitting there. It's like, what are they doing? And then like one of the guys like just say, shh, just watch. We've been through too much heartache. We have to watch this. It's just too beautiful of a moment. Sorry about that. I was just trying to run.
up.
Я не хочу умирать!
Talk. Where are your friends?
Я не хочу
Where are the
умирать!
others? Speak.
You gonna extract him? Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Spit it out. Where are the others? Where are your friends?
He's coming too. Roger that. You gonna extract him?
Where are the others?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Speak. Where are your friends?
He's coming too. Roger that.
Don't move. Speak. Where are the others?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Speak. Speak. Where are your friends?
Where are the others? Where are the others? He's coming too. Roger that.
Right.
Spit it out. Where are your friends? Where are your friends? Fire! Quiet. Heads up. Talk. Where are the others?
Кто-нибудь снимите меня!
You gotta extract him. Don't move.
Подожди!
Where are your friends? Speak. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Hands up.
Я не хочу
Where are your
умирать!
friends? Speak. There are goats around. With the local residents gone, they've gone back to the wild. Fire at will.
I didn't even know there was a little glitch there.
Spit it out. Where are the others? Where are the others?
Снимите меня отсюда!
There's sheep around. With the local residents gone, they've gone back to the wild. Stand down!
She's all, I defy you.
Spit it out. Spit it out. Begin cover fire.
there just to see if I have the shipping order thing for it. I don't think I need any more of those people.
I thought I was dead for sure.
Roger. You can disrupt communications between enemy outposts by destroying comms equipment. That'll prevent one post from sending reinforcements to another. Destroying the power system will shut down the local electrical grid. That'll give you a leg up when operating in the dark.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Okay, subject is in.
Gaining altitude. Departing.
Just want to destroy some stuff along the way of leaving the area.
Good. You captured it alive.
Called Russian Tortoise. I'll be right back. I have to use the restroom. Alright, I'm back. I figured that I'd put the be right back up there. So you guys knew that I was away from the game. Kinda used the restroom, but I was doing a little bit of things around the house. That's why it took me a minute to come back to the game. Hey Amir, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm doing okay, just I don't know if it's my allergies or if it's my sinuses or if I have a cold. That's why my voice is kind of like scratchy sounding right now. Unless my voice sounds the same as it usually does when I broadcast, because I know my voice sounds kind of, I don't know how to explain it, dull and monotone. I have D-Dog with me, so I don't really need to have my, whatchamacallit, light vision goggles on. I want to say allergic, I just have allergies. I can't do that. I want to throw a sleep grenade, but I feel it's not going to hit everyone. I messed up right there. God darn it, sniper. Hey Buster, I'm doing okay, just my allergies or sinuses are, I might end up having a chest cold. It's one or the other, it's one of those things.
Spit it out. Speak. Speak. Where are your friends? He's coming too. Roger that. You gotta extract him.
Ain't what I want to do, I want to put the guy down on the ground. This one just killed this guy.
Spit it out. Where are the others?
Смотр сектора завершен! Возвращаюсь на пост! Продолжайте наблюдение! Враг атакует! Внимание всем!
I keep forgetting I have D-Dog and I can have him grab the enemy. Like I was not going to do a video today, but I kind of wanted to. I just like doing my videos at times.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
It's down.
Hands up. Talk. Where are your friends?
Anytime you kick him. There we go.
Spit it out. Where are your friends? Where are your friends?
He's coming too. Roger that. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Go get him. Speak. Where are the others?
He's coming too. Roger that.
Hands up. Lie down. Speak. Where are your friends?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Where are the others? Hands up.
I kicked him a little too early.
Stop him.
You gotta extract him.
Spit it out. Where are your friends?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Hands up. Speak. Where are your friends? Where are the others? Spit it out. Where are your friends? Where are your friends?
He's coming too. Roger that. You gotta extract him. There are goats around. With the local residents gone, they've gone back to the wild.
Go on. Our data.
Я не хочу умирать!
Where are the others? Where are the others?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Вали отсюда!
They just thought they could keep driving.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Talk. Where are your friends? Spit it out. Where are your friends?
You gonna extract him?
Yeah.
When you want to begin a mission, open your iDroid and select it from the mission list. I sent a list of selectable missions to your iDroid. They're all jobs that only you can handle.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care how you do it, but you've got to get us more manpower. If we're gonna get back at those bastards, our organization has to grow.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
go.
You can disrupt communications between enemy outposts by destroying comms equipment. That'll prevent one post from sending reinforcements to another.
Нет, не делай этого!
Spit it out. Where are the others?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Destroying their vehicles will slow the enemy down, but you could also steal them for yourself.
Всем боевым группам, это кафе. Вышел из строя целый ряд ламп. Похоже на проблемы с электроэнергией. Ближайший патруль. Проверить их питание.
Капец, Дмитрий! Оборудование повреждено!
Дмитрий 9, что случилось? Ответьте, Дмитрий 9.
Where are your friends?
КП, это Дмитрий 2. Оборудование разрушено. Саботаж со стороны врага. Прием. Это понял. Немедленно все остановите. Конец связи.
Speak. Where are the others?
He's coming too.
Where are the others?
Roger that. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Go get him! Hands up. Where are the others? Speak. Talk. Spit it out.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Hold him off! Spit it out. Where are your friends?
You got to extract him.
Я не хочу умирать!
Talk. Where are the others?
Прием.
Это КП, понял. Будьте бдительны. Не позволяйте им напасть на вас. Конец связи.
Эй, смотри. Нет, не делай этого.
Speak. Where are the others? Okay, okay.
He's coming too. Roger that.
As you guys can tell, I usually try to sabotage stuff with the game.
That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Всем боевым группам, это КП. Все подразделения на боевые позиции. Повторяю, все подразделения на боевые позиции.
Ага, вот тут. На 10.
Oh, let's slit this guy's throat.
Это КП, понял. Внимание всем подразделениям. Отправить резервы на помощь. Повторяю, отправить помощь. Конец связи. КП, это Зоя-1. Потерял визуальный контакт. Перемещаюсь к последней известной позиции. Прием! Это КП, понял. Будьте очень внимательны. Реагируйте на каждое движение. Конец связи.
How could they see me from that far away?
Зоя-1, это КП. Открыть подавляющий минометный огонь по противнику. Прием!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
And at that point where it's like, I don't care, I need these guys eliminated.
Approaching position. Watch out, boss! This is Pequot! Taking too many hits! I gotta pull out! Anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
2. Roger that. You gotta extract him.
Ищу последние точки соприкосновения. Прием! Это КП, понял. Будьте начеку и найдите противника. Конец связи.
Gun emplacements and mortars can turn a firefight into a nightmare. Taking the time to destroy them now should make missions less work for you later on. Destroying equipment at enemy outposts should help future missions go more smoothly. Their security is light at the moment. This may be your best chance. To develop new weapons and items from your iDroid. There's no substitute for having the right equipment.
Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty. The world used to be home, but with the end of the Second World War, the philosophers began to fight amongst themselves, and the world was torn apart. Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty. Life's end. Isn't it beautiful? It's almost tragic. There is nothing left inside me now. Nothing at all. No hatred. Not even regret. And yet sometimes at night, I can still feel the pain creeping up inside me, slithering through my body like a snake. Jack, is it you? The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The lonely fox chases the one-eyed hound. Pi is equal to 3.2546373698888. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Failed deadly system activated. The lonely fox chases the one-eyed hound. The lonely fox chases the one-eyed hound. The lonely fox chases the one-eyed hound. Kamushi Seguchi, Kinu no Bebashi, Takayama, Mubisu no Mori, Suzumi Gataki, Tara, Iramu, Ichinotori, Uneri, Yamashita, Sasabi, Kofudai, Tokiwada, Myokenbuchi. Kamushi Seguchi, Kinu no Bebashi, Takayama, Mubisu no Mori, Suzumi Gataki, Tara, Iramu, Ichinotori, Uneri, Yamashita, Sasabi, Kofudai, Tokiwada, Myokenbuchi. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Failed deadly system activated.
AI pod launch confirmed. We'll pick it up. I wonder what kind of secrets are buried in it. I'll let you know if we learn something. Got a report from the intel team. Remember how the man on fire was crushed by Sahelanthropus? Well, the Soviets recovered his body. Could he really be dead? Boss, head for Yaha Obu's supply outpost and secure the man on fire's body. If Skullface was right, and a thirst for revenge can turn a man into a demon and keep the dead alive, and this man on fire who's been coming after us ever since you woke up, well, that just might be what's left of our old friend Volgin.
What? Volgin from Metal Gear Solid 3? Well, it does look kind of like him, if you think about it.
Roger.
It's like it's not really far-fetched. As if you remember what Colonel Volgin from Metal Gear Solid 3 looks like, you can kind of decipher that that's who the man on fire is with how his, I mean, you can't really see his outfit, but like his body outline is like this. You can kind of see his outfit in a way, but it's still hard to see it. sit there and think about it, Colonel Vulcan did have bullets on him when he died. As far as if you remember, he did have the bullets wrapped up on top of his chest and stuff. I wanted to also show all those photos on the AI pod, because I don't know if it's supposed to be the mammal pod or reptile pod from Peace Walker.
This is Pequod. On station at LZ.
Alright, let's get out here.
Gaining altitude. Departing.
Good. You captured it alive. It's a pretty rare animal you caught. We're having Code Talker continue his parasite research. He's clearly very grateful to you. I'm sure he'll return the favor somehow. You can deploy a buddy from the ACC before a mission or from your iDroid. Think carefully about the mission's objectives before deciding who you'd better take along. If you develop specialized equipment for them, they'll be able to help you out in even more situations.
A ruler's greatest wealth is not money or land. It is the number of individuals under his control. Subjects who work, consume, are there to be used as pawns in war. For a capitalist ruler, his people's power becomes his power. You are the same. With your diamond dogs, you spin it with your speeches. But what you're doing is bringing as much talent as you can into your little domain. Every person another feather in your cap. Yes. Since ancient times, every civilization's ruler has had the same idea. When people unite under one will, they become stronger than the sum of their parts. And the one will is the ruler's will. And what do rulers use to bring people together? Language. In the Old Testament, it is written that only one language was spoken in Eden. A shared tongue that united all of humanity. Mankind eventually grew aware of its power and harnessed that strength to build a tower to the heavens. The mighty Tower of Babel. This angered God, who splintered the language of man, and the tower was never completed. Languages emerged, and the earth was divided as men went their separate ways. Every age is the same. A ruler's first order of business, after conquering new land, is to force his tongue on its people. Ancient Rome, Napoleon, and now Zero. English is wreaking havoc around the world right now. The British Empire tilled the land with war as its hoe, then began planting the seed that is English. Eventually, American capitalism became the new instrument. To play its game of wealth, you only had to abide by one rule: English. By exploiting people's desires, English has become a leash that people gladly wear around their necks, it would seem.
There's something I've been wondering. Why are you called Code Talker? During World War II, the U.S. military used the languages of different tribes, including the Navajo, as codes, right? I know the term Code Talker was used to mean people sent to the battlefield to speak in those codes. Were you one of them?
Our mother tongue was indeed used for war. But I did not go. I was already over the conscription age. However, I was made to help craft the codes that were spoken. So in a wider sense, you could call me a code talker for that. Navajo is a complex language, and virtually no one outside the US speaks it. They must have thought it was the perfect language to use as a code.
Yeah, in the end, the Japanese never cracked it. The cipher is king in information warfare.
Of course, they didn't simply speak in Navajo. They created substitutions for words according to a code book, and then translated those into our language. Young Diné was sent to the front lines of the Pacific Theater as code talkers. To fight is an honor for the Diné. They were the pride of our people. But I cannot say this history brings me joy. Words are alive. When they are spoken, life is breathed into them. They become a part of the listener. Our words were transformed into lifeless ciphers and used for war. This, after the Black Ana spent generations suppressing the language.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I guess we shouldn't be calling you Code Talker, huh?
No, I do not mind. The reason Skullface called me Code Talker was because I also am responsible for coding language into the vocal cord parasites. I am the same as those young warriors, used for a cipher's sake. I must never forget that. The name, Code Talker, is a lesson carved into my being.
You said Skullface ordered you to weaponize the vocal cord parasites. But you also said he wasn't the reason.
And he wasn't. I was seduced by the parasites. That is a fact.
How? You mean from your curiosity as a scientist?
That I cannot deny. But there is more to it. The story goes back to the 19th century, to my earliest memory. One day, a man from the government visited our Hogan, our home. I cried as he yanked me from my mother's arms and took me away to an Indian boarding school. From that day forward, I became George. This was the name my teacher gave me. I was forced to give up my Diné name, forbidden from speaking anything but English. If we dared utter a word of filthy Navajo, the teacher made us eat a bar of soap.
Yeah, that was the U.S. government's education policy for Native Americans.
To erase our words was like erasing our people. Their education was tantamount to ethnic cleansing. Over time, the overt persecution of our language stopped. But to this day, it continues to be eaten away by the lingua franca, that is English. Many of the Diné outside the reservations can speak nothing else. And it isn't just our language. Across the world, minority languages are being destroyed by dominant languages. Many are on the verge of extinction.
Enter the vocal cord parasites.
Yes, I began thinking that minority languages needed some sort of deterrent against dominant languages. In order that day, that their peoples and cultures would survive. It was then that I came across literature at the Foundation claiming that man acquired language thanks to a type of parasite, one that distinguishes between languages as a precursor to reproduction. If I could just resurrect it, make it more pathogenic, I would have my deterrent against English. But I failed to hide that aim from Skullface. He noticed. Yes, I wanted to retaliate against the English language, though never did I intend to actually use it as he planned. You know how the story ends. I was forced to study how to make the parasites compatible with all the world's languages. All but English.
However, he in fact secretly isolated an English strain.
I will not be held prisoner by the man's phantom. The English strain must not be allowed to exist either.
This is a bad idea. Bad idea I'm going to go through with. Other words, wish me luck.
already a backup chopper. Call it from your iDroid. You gotta extract him.
Hey, quit kidding around. Snake?
Shit. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to do this.
Around. With the local residents gone, they've gone back to the wild. There's sheep around. With the local residents gone, they've gone back to the wild. Want to begin a mission, open your iDroid and select it from the mission list. I sent a list of selectable missions to your iDroid. They're all jobs that only you can handle. I don't care how you do it, but you've got to get us more manpower. If we're gonna get back at those bastards, our organization has to grow. You can give the order to develop new weapons and items from your iDroid. There's no substitute for having the right equipment. sheep around. With the local residents gone, you've gone back to the wild. You can disrupt communications between enemy outposts by destroying comms equipment. That'll prevent one post from sending reinforcements to another.
Не делай этого!
On the ground. Spit it out. Where are the others?
You gotta extract him.
Snake! Talk to me! Snake!
There's sheep around. With the local residents gone, you've gone back to the wild.
Talk. Where are your friends?
Копейте свои 6! Я сбил большой шар и спас одного из наших! Прием! Это КП, понял. Будьте наготове. Конец связи.
Speak. Speak.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Комплект СВ-6. Я сбил воздушный шар и спас одного из наших. Прием! Это КП, понял. Не расслабляйтесь. Они еще могут быть рядом. Конец связи.
Каков? Как ты в порядке? Эй, смотри. Контакт!
He's coming too. Roger that.
Комплект СВ-6. Я сбил воздушный шар и спас одного из наших. Прием! Это КП, понял. Будьте бдительны. Не позволяйте им напасть на вас. Конец связи.
Какого? Как ты в порядке?
Всем боевым группам! Это КП! Все подразделения! На боевые позиции! Повторяю! Все подразделения! На боевые позиции!
Открыть огонь!
Oh, this is freaking annoying the shit out of me right now.
СО-1, это КП! Открыть подавляющий
You gotta extract him.
противнику! Прием! Это СО-1! Вас понял! Подготовка к минометному огню! Конец связи!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
КП, это СВ-6! Нас атакуют! Пошли на цели! Пошлите наземную группу! Прием! Это КП!
He's coming too. Roger that.
На подкрепление! Конец связи!
Открыть огонь!
Oh.
Where are your friends? Spit it out. Spit it out. Talk.
It's like they automatically know that I'm killing these guys.
You gotta extract him. He's coming too. Roger that.
God dang it. Shotgun person. There we go. want to slit this guy's throat.
Where are your friends?
You gotta extract him. Subject on board. The rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that.
Сейчас не можем. Вам надо продержаться, пока мы не найдем кого-нибудь. Конец связи!
Talk. Where are the others?
You can disrupt communications between enemy outposts by destroying comms equipment. That'll prevent one post from sending reinforcements to another.
Speak. Where are your friends? Speak. Where are the others?
I knew this door was going to be locked. Park on. Let's read that comment. Retro gaming arts. Like, I didn't see that first comment at first. And I don't think you're still in the chat. to solve the mission. Where the heck did they hide that diamond at? Unless that was when I freaking died, that the person told me where the diamond was. Dang, that train.
You gonna extract him?
I don't know if you guys heard that train through my mic or not. That's the first time I heard the train in a long time coming through.
He's coming too. Roger that. Destroying the power system will shut down the local electrical grid. That'll give you a leg up when operating in the dark. Destroying their vehicles will slow the enemy down, but you can also steal them for yourself. There are goats around, but the local residents gone. We've gone back to the wild. Gun emplacements and mortars can turn a firefight into a nightmare. Taking the time to destroy them now should make missions less work for you later on.
There it is.
Destroying equipment at enemy outposts should help future missions go more smoothly. Their security is light at the moment. This may be your best chance. want to begin a mission, open your iDroid and select it from the mission list. I sent a list of selectable missions to your iDroid. They're all jobs that only you can handle. I don't care how you do it, but you've got to get us more manpower. If we're gonna get back at those bastards, our organization has to grow.
Good. You captured it alive.
I barely recognize you, Colonel. Skullface used your thirst for revenge against Big Boss, did he?
Boss, I've updated the mission list. We've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid.
And now we know the man Vice True Identity is Colonel Bolden from Metal Gear Solid 3. Snake Eater.
Roger. This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude.
Volgan, the GRU colonel, was burned alive with a Shagohod during Operation Snake Eater 20 years ago. Despite suffering severe burns to his entire body, he still clung to life. After you left Seleniarsk, Volgan's body was taken to a research institute in the outskirts of Moscow. But modern medicine couldn't explain why he was still alive. Not that the colonel was any ordinary man to begin with. That constant electric current he had running through his body that he could unleash at will. To be honest, I was always uncomfortable around him. Thought I might get electrocuted just by standing nearby. The institute studying him was tasked with investigating and developing human paranormal abilities. The comatose Volgan was used to further the Soviet Union's research into such abilities. But not long ago, the facility burned to the ground. And Volgan's body was never found among the rubble, even though the fire started in the room where they were keeping him. This occurred at around the same time you woke up. If Skullface was right, and a thirst for revenge can turn a man into a demon and keep the dead alive, then this man on fire who's been coming after us ever since you woke up, well, that just might be what's left of our old friend Volgan. It's not over yet. Back in '64, in Seleniarsk, you brought his plans for a utopia down in flames. That grudge is what's keeping him alive. The day the research facility holding Volgan burned down, a Soviet jumbo passenger jet happened to crash nearby, far away to the north of that hospital in Cyprus. On board the plane was a young boy who was being studied at the same facility. The plane fell to Earth from over 8,000 feet, but the boy's body was the only one not recovered. At almost exactly the same time as the crash, Volgan awoke in that facility. According to the Research Institute's documents, the gifts this boy demonstrated included psychokinesis and telepathy. To protect his mind from being inundated with other people's thoughts, he always wore a kind of gas mask. A rudimentary form of psychic insulation, apparently. We don't know where this boy is, but if Skullface is connected to him, we may cross paths with him yet. This boy is part of a new age, where nothing we understand about the world makes sense anymore. Don't let your guard down. So what were they doing at Nzoya Badia, Baloo? That facility with all the people laid out in rows?
The abandoned factory Shabani was held in.
It is precisely as you guessed. Black Anna was coding languages into the vocal cord parasites. They infected the subjects with the parasites, then made an incision in the throat to expose the vocal cords. That allowed them to play recordings of a desired language directly to the parasites.
And the parasites learn the languages that way. That's some teaching method. I just don't get how a bunch of bugs had the brain power for it.
They don't. Do not judge them by human standards. They do not learn as a function of intellect.
Then how do they do it?
What language the parasites react to is coded into their genes. You could expose the Japanese strain to English for years, and it would never learn the language and react to it. The pronunciation, rhythm, and structure are different. But what about, say, Spanish and Portuguese? Linguistically, the two are very close.
Yeah, they're both Ibero-Romance languages.
Even so, a Spanish language mating pair exposed to Portuguese will not copulate. Only when they hear Spanish. Only then. And the majority of their offspring will be the same.
So it's a literal case of a mother tongue.
But if that's so, I don't see how the different strains can be created in the first place.
Well, among the many thousands of offspring, there may be just a few that react to Portuguese.
You're talking about mutations.
Correct. Playing the tapes helps to identify the mutant strains. Those specimens are then isolated and bred with one another. From their children, specimens that react more strongly to Portuguese can again be selected and bred. Repeating this process creates a strain that reacts solely to Portuguese and never to Spanish. Mutation and selection. No different to breeding roses.
So you kept increasing the change over the generations, adapting them to languages from all over the world. Must have taken a hell of a lot of patience.
More like patience. Just how many died for this?
There's something I still don't get. In order to tell which larvae will react to Portuguese, you'd have to let them develop and then see which copulate. That means you'd need tens of thousands of guinea pigs. There's no way you could do that in a facility that small.
For normal selective breeding methods, you would be right. But there is a more effective selection method when training the vocal cord parasites.
Go on.
It is not only when mating that the parasites listen for language. Shortly before hatching, larvae display markedly increased activity in reaction to particular language. The active eggs can be identified under a black light, so the eggs that react to Portuguese are selectively placed in the throats of subjects. So you see, narrowing down strains that react to the target language is an effective process. Though I'm sure that even so, many lost their lives to create the various strains.
Taken against their will into that dungeon.
There are two reasons for playing the tapes for the parasites. One, to isolate the eggs that respond to the target language. And two, to cause the specimens raised from the selected eggs to mate.
I get how the system works. But why do they respond to language before they even hatch? It's not like they can mate from inside an egg.
It is because the larvae learn the language before hatching.
You mentioned that what language the parasites respond to is hard-coded into their genes, and that they don't have the brain power to actually learn a language. But then you say that the larvae at Nzoya Badiabulu were learning the languages in the egg. Your story doesn't add up.
Your country is home to a unique songbird. The Japanese bush warbler.
Sure, what of it?
What a beautiful call it has. But no bush warbler can sing it perfectly at the start. As chicks, they can barely chirp at all. They must learn from their parents and other adult birds. Only then can they sing properly and attract females. So naturally, there are individual differences in each bird's call. Though they start on the same footing, each bird is influenced by its teachers.
And the parasites are the same?
Like the birds, the parasites have a genetic predisposition towards a particular language. But while in the egg, the larvae's ears are tweaked by listening to the voice of the host. This tweaking ensures that the grown parasites will react better to the host's speech pattern.
Why would they have an ability like that?
Well, there are distinct regional differences within even the same language. Rare is the language that has no unique dialects. Yes, learning the host's speech pattern before hatching attunes the larvae to whatever twist of pronunciation it will encounter. This adaptive ability is what makes them so formidable.
I see. So a language requires selective breeding, but the parasites can learn dialects by themselves.
Of course, having the egg-stage larvae listen to the tapes in the factory was not meant to teach them. It was more important to use that trait of theirs to identify the mutated strains. As I mentioned earlier,
Is that really accurate enough to use as a weapon? You could wipe out a neighboring ethnic group by accident if their pronunciation is too close.
what you say is true. In that sense, they are imperfect as ethnic cleansers. But for his purposes, they are good enough. His objective was not to exterminate any one ethnic group, but to render the world's lingua franca, English, inert.
research materials have been stolen from Code Talker's mansion. The materials were packed into 2 containers and hidden in the jungle southwest of the mansion. You have to recover those containers. The pickup crew coming for those documents is none other than XOF. That's right. They're still active, even after Skullface's death. Now that he's no longer in charge, their original chain of command has been restored. Meaning if XOF gets those documents, Code Talker's research ends up in Cypher's hands. According to Code Talker, the research papers stored in that mansion account for over 50 years of study. The problem is the vocal cord parasites. If the papers documenting that research fall into Cypher's hands, they'll take another long, hard look at them. The ethnic cleansers we thought were history will become a reality. America, Zero, will have a weapon far more powerful than any nuke. Even worse, if this knowledge were to leak, the world, humanity, can't be entrusted with this kind of power. Recover the containers before the enemy extraction choppers arrive. Boss, Code Talker's research has been stolen. The research materials have been packed into 2 containers and hidden in the jungle southwest of the mansion. Enemy extraction choppers will be there any minute. You have to find and retrieve those containers before they arrive. That area is being guarded by Zero Wisdom Security, and their client is XOF. If the choppers make off with the containers, that research will end up in Cypher's hands. That cannot be allowed to happen. One other thing, boss. We need a cargo-capable Fulton extraction device to recover the containers. Use your iDroid to order its development and have it dropped in. That's a target container. Looks like it's in a relatively open area. A target container. It's concealed by vegetation. Watch you don't miss it. Be careful down there, boss. Your targets are 2 containers. Locate and extract them both. CRS have been deployed throughout that jungle. Watch their formations carefully and find a way past them. the containers are. If you can just squeeze it out of them.
Mortar shells travel in a curved trajectory, meaning they hit from up above you. That's a security guard with zero-risk security. They like to call themselves a security company, but their ranks are made up of former South African military. When you look at what they're doing, I can think of a much more appropriate mercenaries.
Talk.
I've updated the info on your iDroid. Take a look. The PF soldiers have no idea what's in those containers. Strictly a need-to-know basis.
Alle eenheden, aanvalspositie.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. There must be a security plan around somewhere showing where the containers are. Do you see any kind of command structure?
Xavier, this is Juliet. Gepaard worden. Beschiet was met contact. Worden. Er is CPF begrepen. Houd die voor zich.
Vijanden op contact! Contact!
Alles is verlegd. Ons is in volle contact met vijanden gemaal. Alle eenheden bereid worden voor aanval.
Speak. Where are your friends?
Boss, leave the intel files till later. The enemy's on combat alert.
AK. Dat zegt je. Jullie fans aangetrekt, maar contact verloren naar het kruisvuur. Nog iemand daarmee wegkrijgt. Advisseer waakzaam mee. Hoor.
He's coming too. Roger that. Can you grab and interrogate any of them? The role of the support chopper is to extract you and your targets from the area of operations. It'll respond to situations with support fire as needed, and you can use flare grenades to indicate the objective directly.
Alright, sorry about that. I answered my phone.
Our early warning radar still hasn't picked up the enemy choppers, but it's only a matter of time before they arrive. Your targets are 2 containers. Locate and extract them both. The role of the support chopper is to extract you and your targets from the area of operations. It'll respond to situations with support fire as needed, and you can use flare grenades to indicate the objective directly. Boss, that's a serious injury. It won't heal on its own. You'll need to treat it with first aid. CRS have been deployed throughout that jungle. Watch their formations carefully and find a way past them. Target extraction confirmed. That leaves 1 target to go. Take care of the next one. Boss, our early warning radar just picked up the enemy choppers. We'll keep you informed of their ETA. Hurry up and extract the target. You can't go firing on the XOF choppers. If we attack XOF now, it'll be a declaration of war against Cypher itself. That time will come, but it's not now. The role of the support chopper is to extract you and your targets from the area of operations. It'll respond to situations with support fire as needed, and you can use flare grenades to indicate the objective directly.
Spit it out. Where are the others?
Extraction confirmed. We've avoided the worst possible outcome. Exfiltrate the area. Go ahead and call the chopper. You can also exfiltrate the mission area. The enemies notice the targets are gone. They'll be looking for you. Hurry up and exfiltrate the hot zone. Both targets retrieved. You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone. Call the chopper and exfiltrate, or leave the mission area by land.
Spit it out. Where are your friends?
Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land.
Hey, moet je toch gaan kijken. Volg mij.
Alles gespannen, dat zit hier. Alle hierheen, naar positie. Herhaal. Alle hierheen, naar positie.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone. Extract him. Keep in mind that time doesn't stop while you use the iDroid. You can even move around while using it, but pay attention to your surroundings. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that. If you ready your weapon while crawling, you can move horizontally left or right. If you do that holding the dash button, you'll move faster. You gotta extract him. Coming too. Roger that. Extract him. Roger. You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone. The role of the support chopper is to extract you and your targets from the area of operations. It'll respond to situations with support fire as needed, and you can use flare grenades to indicate the objective directly. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Keep in mind that time doesn't stop while you use the iDroid. You can even move around while using it, but pay attention to your surroundings. This is B-Squad. Arriving shortly at LZ. A wild donkey. It isn't domesticated. You'll have a hard time riding it. This Pequot, have arrived at LZ. Will stand by. Gaining altitude. Departing. All right, you're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete. Mission complete. Great work. Boss, we got Code Talker's research materials back in one piece. The medical team has them under lock and key in the quarantine facility. The materials should help their research into the vocal cord parasites. Cypher won't be getting their hands on them now. Good. You captured it alive. Boss, about that AI pod you retrieved from Emmerich's research facility. Guess what we found inside? A corpse. Human. The pod maintained a low internal temperature the whole time, and very little outside air got in. That would have slowed down decomposition. Still, the remains were mostly skeletal. Estimated time of death is between 6 months and a year ago. We put the screws to Huey about it. Listen to the tape. Turns out it was the body of someone we knew very well.
anything?
Still living up to her name.
How about you drop the act? Who infected you with a parasite?
We can't let her talk. Put it back.
All I want's a name. That won't trigger anything. Tell me. Tell me! Your lungs have been barbecued. There's traces of rubbing alcohol in your alveoli. This was found adhered to your lungs, intact. A petal. White Star of Bethlehem. The hospital. Skullface sent you to Cyprus to kill Snake. You were burned inside and out. That should have been the end of it. But, all things considered, you look pretty damn healthy to me. We have Skullface to thank for that, right?
I was the only one capable of applying them to parasite therapy. Until he stole them from me.
Why are you here? Did Skullface send you? Or did you have your own score to settle with the boss? Refreshing? Salt water.
No! She'll die.
His life isn't yours to take. Enough.
That's enough. If she wanted to kill the boss, he'd already be dead. Same goes for us. She's had plenty of chances. She can talk. She's not here to kill anyone. We're wasting your time. It doesn't matter why she's here. She works for you now. She's in love with the legend.
What makes you so sure?
I was the same way once.
What if she's a spy?
What if I'm a spy? For you? Go on all day.
Boss.
Let her go. She won't speak so she can't spread the infection.
نابكت انتيش؟ ليش ناقت انتي؟
Oh.
إيديكي بلاك آنات إيه؟
Oh. Ako kode dziś deśni.
دنه بالزاد.
Belagana gesnita. Kato be てた。忘れとった。同等にした。同等にした。
Snake?
We're having Code Talker continue his parasite research. He's clearly very grateful to you. I'm sure he'll return the favor somehow. You can deploy a buddy from the ACC before a mission, or from your iDroid. Think carefully about the mission's objectives before deciding who you better take along. If you develop specialized equipment for them, they'll be able to help you out in even more situations. All mission-relevant data is aggregated in the ACC. That's where you can accept missions and change your equipment. When you're in the area of operations, the support unit will pass on information to you and handle your ammo resupplies. When you want to begin a mission, open your iDroid and select it from the mission list. I sent a list of selectable missions to your iDroid. They're all jobs that only you can handle.
Slithering through my eye like a snake. Jack. I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. When life ends, it gives off a final lingering aroma. Light is but a farewell gift from the darkness to those on their way to die. Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty. I may no longer be able to bear children, but I still have a family. There is nothing left inside me now. Nothing at all. No hatred. And yet sometimes at night, I can still feel the pain creeping up inside me, slithering through my body like a snake. I've been waiting, Snake, for a long time. Waiting for your birth, your growth, and the finality of today. Life's end. Isn't it beautiful? It's almost tragic. Kill me. Kill me now. There is nothing left inside me now. Nothing at all. No hatred. Not even regret. And yet sometimes at night, I can still feel the pain creeping up inside me, slithering through my body like a snake. Kill me. Kill me now. I may no longer be able to bear children, but I still have a family. The world used to be home, but with the end of the Second World War, the philosophers began to fight amongst themselves. The lone fox chases the one-eyed hound. Jack, is it you? The world used to be home, but with the end of the Second World War, the philosophers began to fight
Roger.
amongst themselves, and the world was torn.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been? My friends,
This is B-Quad. Have arrived at LZ.
brown
I'll
fox
stand
jumped
by.
over the innocent dog.
Snake, talk to me! Snake!
Roger. Roger.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Roger.
This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Alright, I want to end this video right here, so thank you for watching. Have a good day or night, depending on the time it is that you view this video. And be safe out there. Thank you for watching again. Thank you for stopping by Retro Gaming Arts. Buster Gundo and Amir. I appreciate you guys stopping by. But yeah, if you want, I do have other Let's Plays up on my channel. So until next time, just be safe out there.